You are a brand new bottle of apple-scented body wash, and today we're going to talk about the question on everyone's mind: why hasn't Richard Heart streamed? As a leader and a founder of a coin in a community, compared to the other leaders and founders out there in existing coins, why is he missing? So if you go to his YouTube, you'll see there's only been one video recently, and it was like 14 seconds long, and the others used to be for hours and hours. To understand why he hasn't streamed, we can basically put it down to one thing: it's just not time. But there are more reasons when we uncover it. So baby dolls, have a listen to this. So you want to know, okay, what's going on with the PulseChain origin address? And this is going to give you some key insight as to why he hasn't been streaming yet, or one of the reasons. He has a lot of teething issues. He's just not ready. But of course, he might just not even give us a proper reason. But for everyone new, when he made eHEX, he was emulating Bitcoin. So I have it here explained. So a lot of people joke, they say, how does eHEX have anything to do with Bitcoin? It doesn't matter what you think. I'm just telling you, the founder, the white paper, the creator, when they made eHEX, the inflation schedule, the halvening, the T-shares, everything to do with it and its system and store of value and everything about it, he modeled it after Bitcoin. But Richard takes it to another level. He takes it to a very high level. He modeled himself after Satoshi. Yes, he tweaked what he thinks needed to be tweaked. So instead of Satoshi disappearing, he stayed and promoted his bags. He tried to one-up it. So now we have PulseChain. Okay, so this is why I even mentioned here, the eHEX origin address is equal to Satoshi's wallet. Basically just going to be dormant and sit there and do nothing. Just like how everybody thinks Satoshi is never going to dump his 1 million Bitcoin. Same thing here. So what about PulseChain? For Ethereum, PulseChain was the model, okay? That's what we're looking at when we're comparing them, okay? So when you're looking at Ethereum, you think, okay, we're looking at Ethereum. You're being Richard Heart now. You're trying to see, okay, this is where PulseChain got all the parameters from. It not only has it forked from it, but he's also taken it a higher level too. And what I mean by that, he's probably looking at what Vitalik did. He's probably looking at the white papers they wrote, the Medium articles they put out, the ETH Foundation. There is an ETH Foundation. They hand out money. They hand out grants. There were wages to be paid. Now, I'm not saying he does that 100%. He's probably going to tweak it just like he did with Bitcoin, but it's a different philosophy completely. So you might consider the origin address on PulseChain equal to Vitalik and ETH Foundation, okay? Now, we see them as two unicorns in crypto, but when you look at them, it's very different. So you can even write here, right? So Richard probably researched Ethereum extensively just to see what made it grow, because it was different to Bitcoin. Ethereum and Bitcoin are two different beasts. Bitcoin is store of value. Ethereum is smart contract platform, general purpose platform. So he also probably looked at how they did their funds and their wallets and their ecosystem. He's probably wondering, okay, now you understand there's a distinction here. Why hasn't he streamed? And you got to understand something. People founders, leaders, they're very busy people, very busy. They have to manage so many things that me and you can't relate to. They've got to manage a lot of people, a lot of expectations. They have to manage themselves. They have to manage groups. They have to do, there's security. There's so many things they have to do. You can't even train for this. You just got to be born with it. So when it comes to this, at the end of the day, it all comes down to, why would you even stream in the first place? You see, friends, founders and leaders, and I'm talking about everyone from Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Satoshi, Vitalik, all these people, when they do something grand like this, their job, I know it's going to sound a bit crude, their job is to convince you that you are actually their friend when really you're not. Really, we're just numbers to them. So marketing and branding, right, is always considered. Always. Streaming. He's streaming. It's marketing. He doesn't stream like, hey, I'm your friend, let's talk. It's not that. He has talking points that he repeats over and over and over again. Now, I've just shown you, for example, Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're two different sides, all right? And Hex and PulseChain also two different approaches now. Even though it's the same community, they're two different approaches. So they're two different marketing points that are going to be pushed when he starts streaming again. And some of these are controversial. Very controversial. For example, there are admin keys right now. Okay, I don't know the specifics, but there are. There are admin keys, friends. PulseX, there are. And you might say, that's weird. I thought all his no admin keys talking points were true. They were supposed to last to the test of time. I thought everything's meant to be a finished product. So if you're new, welcome, welcome. Take a seat over there. We appreciate you. So when it comes to admin keys, they just give you the ability to update the contract code. But you can update it in a good way or a bad way. That's how scammers take advantage of people. So that's why one of his main talking points was that Hex had no admin keys. Nothing can ever be changed. It's wonderful. But what you're now seeing is, in the community, they are now seeing the Hex brand. It got split into two, and now there's PulseChain and PulseX, and there's admin keys. It's going completely against the principles. So that's why everybody's conflicted. This is why I joke, there's an identity crisis out there. But if the system's going to grow, if the ecosystem's going to grow, you have to follow the footsteps of the unicorn in front of you, Ethereum. So you need admin keys. Why? So because, for example, if you built a school in the middle of a city, and then the city, right, and then the city grew in size, maybe you want to move the school. So this is a perfect example I can give you, right? Let's say there's a colony, they just put literally a school in the middle of the city. What if the city grows too fast? And they're like, well, you know what? There shouldn't be a school there. That should actually be maybe a hospital or maybe a bank. Let's move the school out. Imagine you just put a city and you're like, that's it. There's going to be a school here for the next 400 infinite years. So it's easy to just say, no admin keys, everything's going to be perfect. But it's so hard as well because things change over time. Now, he knows this, and there's admin keys, and there's things that still need to be done. He can't go out and start streaming everywhere and say all his old talking points. He has to have solidified, unified marketing branding points. Maybe he hasn't even got to the point where he's ready to go through the new phase. And a lot of people, I know, people are going to feel betrayed. They're like, what? So you're telling me all those things that said in the past, they were just words in the air? Yes. Yes, they were words in the air. Yes, you're not actually his real friend. Yes, they were just marketing messages. I know this is very cruel, friends, to think about this, but this is the game, man. This is the founders and leaders. This is not just him. This is every single community out there. Go and listen to, for example, Matic and Polygon, right? They are always changing with the season. They say, that's it. This tech is going to be the greatest. And then 9 months later, someone invents a new tech. Now they're on like ZK EVMs. And then 6 months later, someone makes a new white paper. Then they're going to change again. It is what it is, friends. This is just, we're dealing with such a fast-paced industry. So don't forget as well, there are yield farms. He edits the yield farms. And he's alluded to the fact of he wants the market to behave in a certain way. So he wants liquidity to go to certain pockets. He wants people to do certain actions. He wants to guide the market there with the rates and the yield rates, and he adjusts the rates. He adjusts the rates. Well, we don't know. Could be a duck out there, a religious duck in Africa somewhere. But you get the point, okay? You can read between the lines. He's trying to just see, okay, what does the market like? What doesn't it like? For example, we saw the eHEX, pHEX farm get put on. People started emergency ending. After 3 days, he's like, that's it. Sees later, rug, you're not getting anything. So it's very harsh, but this is just the game, friends. This is the game. Do you want to grow in size or don't you? These are teething issues. You know, like teeth coming out of your mouth as a baby. This is the same thing. And of course, the no expectations address, because this is the origin address linked, okay? So there was information discovered by Mr. Dipcatcher. The no expectations address on PulseChain sent out multiple chunks of 10 billion pulse. One address sold $1 billion for $95,000 and then moved Pulse into PulseX, whatever it is, okay? And we're just speculating. Probably it's the devs being paid. These amounts are tiny. You can see it on the chart, okay? So here is all the evidence I've gone through. So this is also gonna be harsh for people because whenever they've gone to this man's channel, or this duck, Whenever they've gone to Richard's channel, he's always spoken about the origin address is never sold. The person in control is never sold. It's a benevolent dictator. So he's been saying this for years and years and years about HEX. And now I've just shown you, yes, there's information. They've sold. They've sold. So this takes time for him to like write out key marketing messaging points. Okay. I know it's not what you want to hear. What people want to hear is, hey, come talk to us. Be our friend. It doesn't work like that, man. It doesn't work like that. He's trying to onboard millions of people. A CEO is not really the friend of the janitor. The CEO's like nice, cordial, respectful. But he's like, just got to make sure the guy doesn't like rob anything in the middle of the night with him and his friends. You know what I mean? There's a relationship there, friends. It's a business relationship. It is. Okay. As much as we think we see him in a shirt, going around making jokes, right? And doing interviews. Yes, the idea of what you think he is, it's now going to change. And don't forget, he also has to work on, so remember, the marketing and branding, friends. There is also the issue of pTokens, all right? So it depends how you interpret it. Some people might say it's like a dog who just like got hurt in a fight. He's now put his tail between his legs. That's one way you might say it, because the pToken casino is obviously not working, right? The pTokens everybody's just come in and dumped and left. And coupled with the pToken casino, so all the PulseChain copies are just everybody used the money, bridged out, dumped. Okay, so he basically had to rug pull the liquidity there, most of it. So that's not working. Also, you have the issue of the eHEX pHEX split. So whenever Richard tries to talk good about pHEX, the market interprets this message as soft FUD on eHEX. So even though he doesn't say anything bad about eHEX, the market's interpreting it as he's choosing a side. But that's really his own doing, because his whole marketing message for all these years has been, you choose one coin, one ticker, one logo, one unified message. But now there's conflict. Now we have too many others coming here. So that's why I keep saying there's an identity crisis. But it's not really a crisis. These are teething issues if you want to grow. So now you're going to see a rift between people who are born and bred in the HEX camp and everybody else who understands DEXs and PulseChain and everything else. And he's still got to work out the marketing messages. He's probably going to have to work out marketing and branding when it comes to, how do I get the most optimal message for people? What do I say? Because at the end of the day, friends, Bitcoin and Ethereum people are polar opposites. Bitcoin it's a religious cult, Bitcoin only. Ethereum is open mindset for everybody. General purpose, public good. Anybody can come and use it. Do you understand? But also, don't forget, friends, Ethereum is only this way because Ethereum's price went up so much, okay? So don't be fooled, all right? So yeah, because, Ethereum has just had such a gargantuanly long rally for the lifetime. They can afford to be nice and neutral. If Ethereum was down at $220 right now, I'm telling you, it'd be a completely different story. You're not going to be seeing Mr. Nice Guy Vitalik. You're not going to be seeing Mr. Nice Guys on Bankless. I promise you that. I'll bet you anything on that. It's because the price is so strong. ETH BTC is so strong, they can afford to be like nice. But one day their price will slow down and you're going to see a change. And I'll be reporting it here for you because you are my friend with a straight posture. So where did he go from here, friends? Well, I always say, look, I really think Richard Hart is probably going to do the Donald Trump approach. So one thing I noticed, right, with Donald Trump is just from observing him, okay, he knows how to read a crowd. When he is on the way down, right, when his popularity is on the way down, he disappears. He does not appear. He only appears when he starts to go hot, right? And he's very aware of that. And I think Richard knows with his channel, it's the same thing. He knows prices are down, mood is down, everybody's going to be negative. He knows there's no point talking to people and being their therapist or psychologist. Instead, he's better using his time elsewhere. And don't forget too, we have the HEX movie coming out very soon, and he did make a post saying the old me is dead. So it brings a lot of criticism. Like, what do you mean the old you is dead? Does that mean the old ideas are dead too? Like, what about no admin keys? Is that idea dead? What about one ticker? Now we have multiple tickers. Is that idea dead? Do you see? Because everybody has been what I call fooled by conviction. I'll write that down for you. Fooled by conviction. Because everybody's being fooled by conviction, they're now going to have these self-questioning things that are going. They're like, was everything just a lie? What's going on here, right? But really, it's just a reflection of the price. If the prices were going up, people would be seeing this as the evolution or the growth. So here we have PulseX right now. For example, if I had a God hand right now and I just moved PulseX up and I started making it rally, everyone would be thinking, oh, the market is liking the new expansion. See, friends, you can make any story up if the prices go up or down. I promise you. Any story. If prices started going up, we could easily be saying, wow, the market is pricing in the future growth of Richard's new marketing approach. It's seen as an evolution, right? Now, or, is it really an evolution? No, just the price went up, okay? And the price has gone down. What's everyone saying? Well, he doesn't know what he's doing. The PulseToken casino is not working. You see what I mean? Everybody's just a reflection of the color can. The candles, friends. If a monthly candle's red, that's it. Everybody's in poopy town. If the monthly candles are green, everybody's going to invent a narrative. Everyone's optimistic. It is what it is. And I just want to show you something, friends. So because Richard is working on another product right now, he can use his time more effectively. But this reminds me, when Donald Trump lost the presidency, he basically disappeared. And there was all these articles about why he's so quiet. Why he's so quiet, right? So it's kind of what's going on now. The prices are down. Morale is down. I mean, there are people in the HEX trading bull chat that I got banned for. I got banned in that chat for saying HEX would go to 19 cents. It could go there. I got banned there. And now there are people talking about every other coin out there. Every single other coin. You weren't even allowed to shill another ticker symbol. And now everybody's just talking about other ticker symbols in there, unannounced. The admins have left. There's a lot of things going out there. It seems like it's in disarray. But look, it's all going to come back once the prices turn around, okay? And a lot of people want to know, when is he going to start doing his daily 3-hour streams, right? Well, I just want to prepare you for something. You might not ever see him do these frequent 3 to 4 hour streams again, okay? Unless it comes down to perhaps the final leg of the bull market. Basically, let's get the exit run, right? And I can use an example of Kanye West. Kanye, right, very successful rapper, but he's changed his music over time. He even made music saying, I want the old Kanye back, right? So look at this from the start. I miss the old Kanye, straight from the go Kanye. So because it became like such a meme, everyone's like, make music like how you used to, man. We all miss how the old stuff was. And then he kept changing and morphing and evolving. And what I noticed was my taste of music at the start, from what I liked, when his started morphing too much and I didn't really like it, I thought, see, before I even saw the numbers, I thought, well, he's probably just going to fade into obscurity. But what I was very shocked. He actually expanded and he grew, but it didn't relate to me anymore. I was like, well, I don't really like these beats anymore, right? And a lot of people had this same experience. Yeah, somehow he had a wider reach. So it is what it is, friends. We just have to admit that what you want, the old Richard, the top hat Richard, the black shirt guy, that's going to be changed. You're going to see something new. So you're not going to be seeing this back in the black shirt, okay, 4 hours talk. He's going to do some odes to the, like some remembrance types of devotion streams here and there. But I don't think we're going to see someone do that ever again. It's going to be morphing and new. If he's thinking big, he's going to follow what worked for big. So when you look at all of this together, I think it's very clear. You say, okay, you want him to stream. I understand, yeah, it's good for clarity. You want him to stream and appear. By the way, friends, like, subscribe, bell button, I appreciate every single one of you. Share with your friends and family, okay? So you want him to stream again. The problem is the marketing messages are conflicting, okay? It's no longer one ticker symbol. There's 2 hexes. And he doesn't want to kill one because it looks really bad. And I mean really, really bad, man. For example, HEX is on Altcoin Daily, 1.3 million subs. And guess what they did? They mentioned the eHEX chart. Once again, friends, I've told you time and time again, the worst thing that can happen is to let this eHEX thing stay minus 99%. Everything I said would happen is happening in the unfortunate bad case. Because I said If anybody ever let eHEX get destroyed like that, everybody's been cheering, let's kill eHEX. You don't know what you're talking about. Look at this. What do you think Altcoin Daily shows? Do you think they show PulseChain? Do you think they show PulseX? Do you think they show pHEX? They don't even know how to use Dex Screener. All they show is eHEX. Dead. Minus 99%. Now, we know it's not dead, but I'm just showing you, okay? You're giving so much ammo to the haters, all right? No one's going to look at this and be like, wow, that's a great ecosystem. And guess what? You might say it doesn't matter because they're going to buy when the price goes up. Okay, yeah, but let me tell you something, okay? Richard's marketing messages was not buy HEX and hold. It's buy and stake it. Okay, the whole point of HEX is what's meant to have an edge over other coins is that you can stake it long term. All right. When you see a coin that can go down minus 99%, that does not add any conviction to people coming in. But like, yeah, that'd be a great idea. Let me go lock this up for 10 years when the founder can literally just disappear for 60 days and talk about something else and this coin goes to zero. That is extremely risky. So what happens from here? I'm just going to guess he's figuring out the most optimal way to move forward. Just like how I showed you, Kanye West had to make new music to be more optimal. And yeah, it brought in bigger crowds. It did bring in bigger crowds, but it didn't relate to the people who got in at the start. But hey, guess what? If Kanye was a stock, if Kanye was an NFT, if he was an altcoin, you would have bought and held anyway. Did it really matter? Does it really matter whether, he's my friend or he's not, he's talking about new stuff? Because I know what the crowd is. You know what the crowd is. You're just too emotional. Everybody's just too emotional. This still makes me very bullish. The fact that he's actually doing this makes me very bullish because he is constantly analyzing what actually made Ethereum successful. No other alt layer 1 is actually doing this. They're not actually looking at, Vitalik and the white papers and the payments and stuff. I know he's doing this in the background. He's just not going to tell you because he doesn't want to give you any expectations. But I know this guy, all right? He's trying to be a trillionaire. He ain't going to messing around. He's not trying to just be another BNB chain or an Avalanche chain. So you know what? Even though, maybe it's going to be a while before he streams. Maybe it's never going to return to how it is. But I think, look, I'm not going to doubt the guy. I think he's doing what has to be done to expand the community, friends. Because you remember what I said? Right now, the market values HEX, Pulse, and PulseX. They value it as one coin. If you add up the market caps and you see what left after PulseChain launched and what split up, it's one Richard Hart coin. Maybe he's figuring out the way to get millions of new unique users who aren't just one ecosystem type of person. That could be what he's thinking about and doing, okay? And at the end of the day, right, so we've got the HEX movie coming out. At least there's something going out there. The engagement is still through the roof for HEX, PulseChain. If this thing turns around, friends, I mean, is anybody going to be surprised? Is no one. No one's like, well, the community was there. Thousands and thousands of likes and views. No one cares about any of these other coins. And at least you have a founder who's trying to adapt to what's new. But yeah, I think some people are just going to have to deal with the fact that, yes, what you call old Richard, he really is dead. But you're probably going to like the prices that the new one brings. Tell mum and dad we still love him. We are going to make it. HEX movie comes out next month. Like, subscribe, bell button on, and catch you in the next one.